Hello, I'm Miguel DeLeo, and you're watching Sports Playback, the show that brings you the best highlights, scores, and matchups from Lawndale, Leuzinger, and Hawthorne right into your living rooms. Well, another exciting week is in the books. This past week, we saw two of our schools battling against each other, and the other with a dominating performance on the gridiron. First up, the Hawthorne Cougars traveled to LA Southwest College to take on Verbum Day, with both teams coming off of wins last week, but it was the Cougars who continued their winning ways. Hawthorne dominated the Eagles 41-0. Paris McDaniel and this offense are clicking on all cylinders, which is going to make for a fun rest of the season. Now for the game of the week. You saw it right here on CityTV Sports. This week's show featured two of our Centinela Valley schools playing against each other in an increasingly contentious crosstown rivalry, as the Lawndale Cardinals visited the hosting Leuzinger Olympians, who were coming off their first win in 17 games. Could the Cardinals play the spoiler? Let's take a look at the highlights. Both teams with new looks, Lawndale sporting the all-white unis. Chris Murray hands off to BJ Parkinson, who has a huge hole to the left and nothing but running room. Parkinson at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Lawndale strikes first, a 72-yard run. On second down, Leuzinger looking to answer. Edson Santos with play action throws a tight spiral right into the hands of Lionel Smith for a 26-yard Leuzinger touchdown. Smith celebrates as we are all tied up in the first. Anything you can do, I can do better, as Murray handles the bad snap. A quick throw to wide open Jalen Walker, who runs in untouched for the second Cardinal score. The offense was on point tonight. Shotgun formation again. Murray fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, goes right, goes back left, and nothing in front of him but the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Murray, in his second year as the starting QB, is making plays. All Murray tonight. Murray drops back, throws a beautiful pass to Jalen Walker, and the 12-2 connection comes up with their second score through the air tonight. The Cardinals are running away at this point. This time, once again, play action. Murray keeps it, goes right, guiding traffic, and with blockers in front of him, sees the promised land as the Cardinals strike again with their fifth touchdown of the night. Leuzinger on their final drive looking for a spark. Santos keeps it himself, but instantly runs into a wall of Cardinal defenders. Lawndale wins this one big, 37-7. That win gave the Cardinals their first win of the season, and even though they had a hard road so far, Coach Mathieson is optimistic for the rest of the year. McCall Hall caught up with the coach after the game.
Now, in your opinion, what was the difference tonight? What was the difference? What got you guys over that hump?
Finally getting the right pieces in on defense and the toughness of the defense. Very, very physical game tonight. Very, very aggressive on their run rushes, and just being in the right spots at the right times, and just, when those pieces fall into place, good things happen.
Absolutely. Now, what's the key? You guys had the first victory. How do we get some more?
Just keeping those guys that are in the right spots healthy. We're not a very deep team. We only got 30 kids. We got to keep the guys we got healthy, and just we found a good place for them to play good football, and we just got to keep them there and keep them healthy.
Chris Murray had 166 total yards and 4 touchdowns on the night, and of course that first win of the year. On the other hand, the Olympians who started fighting were a little outmatched, but regardless, Coach Porter is staying optimistic about his young team. Sebastian Spencer has more.
Coach, tough loss today, but how does it feel to get in that first cross-league rivalry with Lawndale?
Probably not as good as they feel. We played hard, too many mistakes against a team that can execute. We got to get better at doing the little things, but I was proud of our effort. We played a lot better in the second half. Go back and watch the film and try to clean up the mistakes.
Now, Coach, you coming over from a winning program in Crespi. What are you bringing that these kids haven't seen before?
It's hard to say. A lot. They probably couldn't cover it in the interview. But we're just trying to get them to understand how to play the game of football the right way and how to play the game of life the right way. So we're going to go back and watch the film and learn as much as we can and come out next week and try to improve.
Week 3 was all about adjustments, but league play is coming quickly, and now's the time to pull it all together. Let's take a look at what we have coming up in Week 4. All of our teams are at home this week, as Hawthorne will host the visiting Golden Valley Grizzlies as the Cougars look to build on their 2-game winning streak. The Lawndale Cardinals will have visitors as well, as the Palos Verdes Peninsula Panthers will try and stop the momentum Chris Murray and his team had in Week 3. Last year, this game came down to the wire. This year, look for another nail-biter. And now for this week's Game of the Week, we are back at Olympian Field as tonight the Rancho Dominguez Lobos will try to douse the Olympian Flame as they take on Leuzinger in what should be a pretty even contest. Edson Santos was 10 of 23 for 56 yards and a touchdown in last week's game. Tonight, he will have to improve on those numbers and look for guys like Lionel Smith and Nathaniel Vaughn to lead his team into victory. I'm excited. I know it's going to be a great game. So for the Sports Playback crew, I'm Aguirre DeLeo. Let's throw it down the field. Guys, take it away.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to another exciting City TV Sports Game of the Week. It's Friday night. We're at Lou House, Olympian Field, home of the Leuzinger Olympians as the Olympians host the Lobos of Rancho Dominguez. I'm Rufus Washington, joined by Sebastian Spencer. Sebastian, this should be a pretty good matchup for Leuzinger tonight, coming off of last week's defeat.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Crawford getting a little bit of taste of what the South Bay is like already, having those games against South Torrance. But Coach Damian Porter looks to establish his team tonight and see can they get back on the right track.
Well, I tell you what, let's get some insight on what we can expect from this Rancho Dominguez Lobos team. How about I'm joined by McCall Hall. McCall, tell us what we know about or we'll learn about Rancho tonight.
So I had an opportunity to talk to Coach Crawford, and he let me know the last week they had a loss, but they didn't have an opportunity to have a full week of practice. He said this week they're fired up, they had full pads, full intensity, and they're ready to go on defense. So be on the lookout because linebacker Stanley Tavita is going to be the heart and soul of that defense and really lock up Leuzinger.
And so you think coming in here tonight, coming across town, that the Lobos have a legitimate chance against a Leuzinger team that's going to be fired up?
I will say this, these are two teams that are very wounded, so it's whoever wants it more. But I'm going for Rancho Dominguez.
All right, you heard it there. I tell you what, we're going to get the opposing viewpoint from Tamara Lott as she gives us some insight on the Leuzinger Olympians and how they're approaching tonight's game off of last week's game against Lawndale. Tamara.
Hey, yes, I was able to talk to Coach Porter, and he told me it was a disappointing loss last week, but he said they're going to come in here. All they need to do is do the little things, do your job, and know your assignment, and he said they should be okay. You know, he's a new coach. They're 1-1. It was a heartbreaking loss last week, but he said, hey, it's a new day, so they're ready for a good start today.
And what's your prediction for the Olympians tonight?
I think they'll come up fired up. It'll be an evenly matched game, so I think Leuzinger will get the win tonight.
All right, so there you have it. Leuzinger with the home field advantage at least. But, hey, that's why they play the games. And you're going to get to enjoy it right here on City TV Sports because kickoff is coming up in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship Yukon Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow a jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Always a pleasure to be here at Leuzinger High School. Let me first say that my partner, Lou Stowers, is away on assignment tonight, and so we're joined by none other, the very capable Sebastian Spencer. And Sebastian, it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm looking forward to what should be an exciting contest tonight for these Olympians. They're looking to get back on the winning track.
Oh, definitely. I'm glad to be up here with you today. And I think Coach Damian Porter is ready to get this game.
All right, well, Leuzinger is going to receive the kickoff. And back deep for the Olympians are a couple of guys. We'll get them for you in a moment. We know that one of them is Nathaniel Vaughn, number 3. But and Vaughn's going to handle the kick return. Wow, he's got a hole. He If he breaks this one, Sebastian, it's a foot race. One man out there against him. He's not going to get him. This is going to be a 95-yard touchdown run by Nathaniel Vaughn. Boy, 15 seconds gone by, and just like that, the Olympians on the board.
Definitely. He put on the Jets right there at the beginning of the game.
So a good start for the Leuzinger Olympians, as we see here on the replay. Call it, Sebastian.
Oh, man, you see him cutting over to the outside. He gets over on the right. He's going. They can't get him.
And the last guy who had a shot at him was Kenneth Gordado, who was the kicker, the senior, and that's never a good sign for your special teams if your kicker is the last man between the end zone.
I tell you what, he definitely didn't expect that.
So now we'll see the extra point attempt coming up. We've barely had a chance to get settled, and already the Olympians have struck early and struck hard. Now we've got a flag on the play.
And you know what, Rufus? I definitely think that touchdown will set the tone for this game.
Well, it definitely is a good omen for the Olympians. Just the kind of start they were looking for and needed.
The penalty should be assessed on the kickoff after the extra point.
Snap fumbled a little bit, but it's up and it's good. And now we've got another flag on the play. Wait to see what the referee, Jay Belshaw, tells us the call is. He's sorting it out with members of his crew.
15 seconds in the game, Rufus. We already got one touchdown and 2 flags.
And if we're scoring a touchdown every 15 seconds, that's going to make it a long night. So whatever the flag was, well, I'm not entirely sure what the call is. Okay, so, well, that's interesting. So now this, what was a chip shot, now becomes infinitely more difficult as it's going to. Kick is up. It's got the distance, it looks like, and it's still good.
Oh, wow. He's very lucky. That kick was this close to being blocked.
Left to go in the first quarter. Leuzinger 7, Rancho Dominguez 0.
A great start for the Leuzinger Olympians. A couple of miscues by both teams on the extra point attempt. However, Leuzinger eventually converts, and it is now 7-0 here in the early stages of the first quarter, the first 15 seconds of the first quarter.
Definitely. You got to give props to Nathaniel Vaughn for setting the tone for that Leuzinger team tonight. Leuzinger set to kick off.
So, in an interesting twist of fate, we had 2 penalties on that point after attempt. The first one apparently looks like it was also a personal foul against the Lobos of Rancho Dominguez. And so that's going to move up the kickoff to the Rancho Dominguez 45-yard line. Normally it would have been at the Leuzinger 40.
That's definitely in the favor of Leuzinger. Can't have mental lapses like that this early in the game. You got to get your head in the game.
So the kick man for Leuzinger is number 34, Steven Ortiz. Ball down to inside the 5, picked up. Here's the return coming now. That's number 14 who's with it. And we know, of course, that's Brandon Cannon, one of the guys that Coach Crawford told is going to be key to his attack tonight. I know that this is our first time seeing them, so we'll try to set some of their players. As you see Cannon there with the return.
Yeah, Cannon not able to get this return off like he wanted to, but he's definitely someone that Coach expects something from tonight.
So our first opportunity to look at the Lobos. Their quarterback, Mustafa Muhammad. They keep it on the ground going around the left side. Pick up pretty good yardage, depending on where they spot it at. This may be a first down.
For about 11-yard gain and a Lobo first down. First and 10 Lobos on their own 20.
So with that now, another inside handoff, this time to number 15, is going to be stacked up and brought down by number 42, Samsoni Luaki, the reigning Tip of the Hat Award winner here at Leuzinger, as he was the recipient of that award last week. Sebastian, he's picking up right where he left off.
Yeah, I think he heard you last week, and I think he wants that award again.
So that was Michael Hewley on the carry. This time another running play. Picks up about 5 yards, going to make it a 3rd down and 5. That was Isaiah Black. And Isaiah Black, Sebastian, was one of the guys that Coach Crawford talked about is going to be key in their attack tonight.
Definitely a 1,000-yard runner last year. He is definitely somebody that's going to be key to this offense as they give it to him again.
And he's going to be out awfully close, boy. Let's see where this spot is. From the looks of it, it's going to be a first down, and that's what they're indicating. So the Lobos started to move the ball a little bit. This drive started at their own 10, and now it's out to the 30-yard line.
And that's exactly what Coach wanted. He wanted this team to move the ball, and they're pretty fast.
Wow, Leuzinger not doing a good job of tackling there, finally bringing them down at the 45-yard line, but not until after he picks up another 15 yards and the first down.
Yeah, you see this team is filled with running. You see Mustafa Muhammad gets through, spin move, and gets down finally. This team can go. Let's see if Leuzinger can contain them.
Once again, boy, they keep faking the pass. That's another good handoff. A missed tackle there out in the open field. A second missed tackle. Finally brought down. Ball loose. Flag on the play. Boy, it'll be interesting to see this one on the replay.
That was a heck of a defensive play by Leuzinger. Referee is trying to figure out the call right now.
And Jay Belsha makes his way over to the press booth side of the field. Personal foul against the Olympians. We'll see if we can see it on the replay coming in, Sebastian. Wow. Well, that's really close. And again, that was Isaiah Black with the carry. And boy, you tack on that penalty to it, and that's going to take the ball now down to the Leuzinger 35-yard line.
Yeah, definitely. That helmet-to-helmet actually played a big part in that.
And that's a timeout that's being taken by Rancho Dominguez. And so while we're going to timeout, let's go down to Tamara Lata.
What I can tell you is this Leuzinger team is pumped up after a 90-yard touchdown by Nathaniel Vaughn. The coaches are in the players' face yelling, let's go and stay focused. Let's see if these guys can stay focused out here. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tamara, and she's exactly right. That 90-yard run did inspire them. But let's go and watch the replay of that last play that led to the penalty against Leuzinger. Yeah. So, Sebastian, as you can see there, here will come, wow, and lowering the boom on him. Let's see.
That's Nathaniel Vaughn, the guy who returned it earlier.
Okay. First down play, their quarterback, Muhammad, drops back to pass, lays it up in the air, and it's going to be intercepted. Let's see, they're going to let him return it. Wow, and bringing it out. That was Lionel Smith with the interception. His momentum took him into the end zone, but he brought it out, Sebastian, and returned it out to the 22-yard line.
And that was definitely good coverage by Lionel Smith. He just keeps going with it and ends up with the ball. Try to make a run for it. And he's tackled right at the 20.
Brought down finally by number 84, whom we don't have unless it's on the backside. Yeah, in our program, that's Kelly Morgan, James Kelly Morgan, who's one of those guys as a receiver that Coach Crawford had told us was important for them. Definitely. So Leuzinger is forced to turn over here in the first quarter. Still 9:41 left. We're just getting started, fans.
Leuzinger definitely has the upper hand right now.
And actually, their first play from scrimmage, they keep the ball on the ground. And that's Galera with the carry. Adrian Galera, number 4. We saw him last week, Sebastian, with a couple of carries. But then they seem to have gotten away from it as they became a little more desperate and went to the passing game and got away from Galera completely. Let's see how they work him tonight.
Definitely. I think they should go to him. He's a strong back and has the ability to make nice runs. And they give it to him again, and he gets through.
Wow, and he's still on his feet, picks up the first down before he's finally brought down by number 20, Alexander, no relation, Washington.
You sure? He might be in your family tree.
Could be, as far as I know. And I'm the one who started the tree out here, okay? So I know he didn't come off this part of the tree.
All right.
So it's going to be a third down and short coming up for the Olympians here in the first quarter. Quarter that so far they've dominated, although you got to say the Lobos were putting together a nice little run before that interception by Vaughn. So we got a momentary stoppage of play on the field. The officials sorting some things out. The players appear to be ready.
And you know what, Rufus? We actually saw this last week. Leuzinger got off to a pretty good start, and sometimes they can't maintain those spurts throughout the game, and they started off with a bang again tonight. Let's see if they can keep it going.
Well, it's important if they want to. Both teams come in 1-2 on the season. This will be Leuzinger's second game at home that we've covered. In fact, they will have had a stretch of 3 because next week we've got the Mayor's Cup where Hawthorne will be coming in here. All right. So, boy, you talk about wanting to make hay while you got your games at home. This is the time for the Olympians to be taking advantage of a very generous schedule that has had them at home for the past 3 weeks.
And definitely. And Leuzinger, I know they want to bring back that Mayor's Cup to the Lou House.
Well, there are a lot of things they'd like to accomplish. As I say, they were at Bishop. They had their first 2 games were on the road at El Segundo and Bishop Montgomery. Their next 3, when I stand corrected, the Mayor's Cup actually, from what I'm seeing, is going to be at Hawthorne rather than here at Leuzinger.
See, we got another flag down here.
That's offsides on the defense.
So that's 5 the easy way.
That's a 5-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st and 5 Olympians from their own 39-yard line.
And Rufus, you talk about the Mayor's Cup game coming up next week. How big would that be for Coach Damian Porter to establish himself and bring in the Mayor's Cup back to Leuzinger in his first year?
Well, I know he'd love to do that, but I'm sure in his mind's eye, first things first, and you're right. But going over to Hawthorne won't be easy against Coach Pasinger and his Hawthorne Cougars.
Definitely much improved program.
Santos with a pass out in the flat, picks up a first down. That pass is completed to Nathaniel Vaughn. It's been a one-man show thus far tonight, Sebastian.
Definitely. Nathaniel Vaughn is doing it on offense, defense, back on offense. As you see, he gets the ball here. Couple cuts, tackled by Alexander Washington.
So this drive set up courtesy of the interception by Vaughn that was brought out to the 22-yard line, and now they're near midfield. So a good-looking drive for the Olympians. Single man in the backfield. Wow. They bid on the fake. Instead, keeping the ball was Edson Santos, and Santos picks up another first down as the defender for the Lobos was completely fooled on that play.
Yeah, and you definitely see right here, that's perfect by Santos, reading the defense and just taking what they give him.
Santos, of course, a veteran quarterback here at Leuzinger. Was the starting quarterback last season, came into the season with that job, has kept it, and is the experience that they need, particularly if you're a first-year coach, as Coach Porter is. You want a guy with some experience there running things for you, and that's what Santos does.
And not only that, he's been through a couple of bad years, had different coaches. I'm sure he's ready to win as well.
So, operating out of the shotgun, a man in motion was Vaughn. They handed to the other inside runner, but then there was a flag on the play thrown by the referee, Jay Belshaw. And what he's saying is that was an illegal shift. You had two men in motion at the same time on the offense.
It is on the Olympians. It's a 5-yard penalty. First and 15.
And the
Illegal motion is the call.
Go 5 yards back on that play.
So you'll see on the play what happened was you had two, like I said, two guys in the backfield moving simultaneously. So the Olympians now with a 1st and 15 on a drive that started at the 9:41 mark. We got 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun, Santos takes a snap, looks right, passes right, hits his receiver who falls down, and now you're going to have a late hit personal foul that's going to go against the Lobos, and that's going to give them 15 yards and an automatic.
And you can't have penalties like that starting off at the beginning of the game. That's how you dig yourself in a deeper hole.
And it is personal foul, Rancho Dominguez, 15-yard penalty, Blue House, first down.
You see right there, catches the ball, gets up, still hits him.
Exactly. And the reason that you get flagged on that is because every player knows at the high school level, once the back goes down off of his feet, then he's down.
Definitely.
So there was no need for the contact, and that's why he was penalized. So it's a first down for the Olympians. Ball inside the 30, down near the 25. Out of the shotgun. Here's another flag on the play. Lionel Smith with the carry. Picks up about 5, but once again, an illegal shift. That's 2 illegal shifts virtually back-to-back for the Olympians.
I think that's the exact same play they ran the last time when they got that penalty.
So that becomes one of those plays that you want to talk to your staff. It's getting a bit windy up here. Otherwise, a beautiful Southern California night. So they run the clock, 5.5 minutes, clock running. Olympians up 7-0 here in the first quarter. Ball at the 30-yard line of the Rancho Dominguez Lobos. No flag this time so far. There's a pass out in the flat. Is the reception made? Yes, the reception is made. Pass complete to number 83. That's Maurice Garland. Garland, a senior, 6 foot, 170 pounds.
Yeah, that's a nice throw by Santos rolling out.
13 yards, 12 yards, 2nd and 3 for the Olympians.
So not quite a first down for the Olympians. 2nd down and 3. And Sebastian, I think I've got a roster here I can share with you. That's for Leuzinger.
Thank you, partner.
They operate almost exclusively out of the shotgun. Once again, this one kept on the ground with the carry. Picks up a couple of yards. That's Khalil Miller before he's brought down. But it's enough for the first down. They say move the chains as the Olympians now down at approximately, they spotted at exactly the 15-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a very strong run by Khalil Miller. Getting down the field, moving those chains.
So far the Olympians have moved the ball 65 yards. This drive started just outside the 20-yard line, and now they're down at the 15. Here's a snap. Santos keeps it himself. Santos turns up.
Santos keeps it.
He's going to pick up, looks like about 4 on the carry. He's going to make it a second down.
Second down for the Olympians.
Let's call it 2nd and 6 from about the 11. They need to get to the 5, pick up the first down. Clock running, 3:50 and moving here in the first quarter.
And you can definitely see on this replay, Leuzinger is coming out with a running game mentality tonight, running the ball straight up the gut.
And as Coach Porter said, it's about attitude. It's about guys understanding, okay, we took a tough one last week. What I like was that he gave a lot of credit to that Lawndale football team and acknowledged that they were a pretty good team.
Yeah, definitely. And he talked about rebuilding the foundation, learning to handle success and failure.
Wow.
Flags on the play. So
That one definitely would be against the Olympians. Normally on a shift you've got, that's a procedure at that time, illegal
legal
procedure.
procedure on the Olympians, 5-yard penalty.
And they had about 5, 6 guys in motion. There's guys stutter stepping and doing everything.
Definitely. You see Coach Porter trying to get into the head of his quarterback, Santos.
Well, what they want to do, they're now obviously in the red zone, and they want to take advantage of this opportunity. The ball has been moved back out to just outside the 15 at the 16. They've got to get down to the 5. So it's a second down. Board shows 10, a long 10, short 11. Wow, there was a lot of movement again, but it's just what's going on here that the Olympians can't seem to get on the same page on these particular plays. This is another 5-yard penalty.
Definitely, and you can't keep having this happen. I think they are so excited about this game and was so pumped up about that kick return for the punt return from Nathaniel Vaughn. I think this team just needs to settle down right now. If you see right here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, almost every guy on the team moving.
And there are some things you can do. I mean, there's definitely a snap count. Everybody's supposed to know it. And that's what you go on. You go on the snap count. This time to get the player. Whoa! Wow. Taking a huge hit was Nathaniel Vaughn. And that was number 14, if I'm not mistaken. Was that Brandon? Instead, no, that was Kevin Scroggins, number 11. And you could almost see that one coming. But Lionel Smith, and did I say Vaughn? I think it was Smith, Lionel Smith actually, who took the hit. Scroggins was the hitter, and Smith was the hittee. And we can see that again. You can almost see this one coming. But a good clean hit put on Lionel Smith by Kevin Scroggins.
And Kevin Scroggins definitely put the hit stick on. That's from our Madden fans out there.
So we're glad to see, though, that Lionel Smith got up from that, and both teams, or at least the Olympians, I believe, took that time out. And we'll see on the replay one more time. That's one of those, Sebastian, you can see it unfolding, and as you saw him going across the middle, and of course, that's where the diva receivers make their money, going across the middle.
Definitely, and you got to protect yourself going down there because it is a chance that you will get hit.
And Smith got hit, but hey, here's what I like to see. Guess what? He's back out there on the field. You see him running out to his position. This time they put him in the slot. Wide outs on each side, and you're going to have a flag on the play. And I think he wanted to get a bit of a head start this time.
He did.
So he was like, okay, well, maybe if I get to the spot before they get there. So we've had, what, 3, 4 of these penalties on this one drive alone?
It seems like Leuzinger just can't get past that 30-yard line.
Well, they're going backwards. They were down at the 15. It's now 3rd and 20. There's another pass. Oh! Got one hand on it, intended for Suliasi Fakava.
Yeah, Suliasi Fakava just could not hold on to that ball right there. You see a nice throw by Santos, a little overthrown.
Just a little bit. This is 4-down territory. I don't think this is within Ortiz's field goal kicking range, and there's not much to be gained from the punt attempt. So they're going to go for it on 4th and 20. Ball's out at the 26-yard line. They've got to get down near the 5 in order to pick up a first down.
Leuzinger feeling really lucky tonight.
Santos rolls out, throws it short, has a man, but that's going to be about 10 yards short of the first down. So it'll be first down for the Lobos. Leuzinger not able to convert the interception by Vaughn into a score, but they did control the ball for a long time. They controlled it for nearly 7 minutes because that interception was made at the 9:41 mark, and they turned it over on downs at the 2:18 mark.
And definitely, only thing that stopped Leuzinger from scoring on that drive was Leuzinger. Those penalties definitely put a dent in that drive for them.
So, with that, now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lobos. Boy, now they've got a chance. They've got a man running, and he tries to run over the Leuzinger defender, Nathaniel Vaughn, but Vaughn's there to make the stop. On the carry was Isaiah Black. Coach told us about him, and boy, did he step in.
Isaiah Black,
So
that's
I tell
our
you
man
what,
for tonight.
All right, and actually we're back at live action once again. They're keeping it on the ground. That's Isaiah Black. Black picking up yardage in chunks. He's finally brought down by Samsoni Luauki, and that's going to move the chains. And while we've got a chance to do that, why don't we go down to McCall Hall and see what she's got for us. McCall.
All right, guys, as you can see with back-to-back first downs, Rancho Dominguez is being a little more patient. Coach Crawford sat down his quarterback after that interception earlier in the first quarter and let him know, I know you're the leader, I know you're fired up, but I need you to display some more patience, be strategic, go through your reads, and help make these drives a little bit better going down the field. So be on the lookout this drive for quarterback Mustafa to be a little bit more strategic. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mahal, for the insight. Mustafa Muhammad, who Coach Crawford told us was the key to this team. Well, here we go. Nice stiff arm, but in on the defensive play for the Olympians. Once again, that was Samsoni Luauki.
That's a good tackle right there, anticipated by Samsoni Luauki. And that's definitely a great tackle again, because that guy is somebody who could definitely break free.
And so that was a loss of 6 on the play, makes it a 2nd down and 16 now. Pass over the middle. Wow, almost intercepted for the Olympians, right in the hands of Steven Ortiz, the kicker. Boy, he had that one and simply dropped it.
That's one of those plays where you just wish you could have right back. You see right here, gets it, slips right out of his hands.
And so that's a 4th down. They're going to have to punt, or it brings up 4th down. That incompletion did. And back to receive for the Olympians is Nathaniel Vaughn. Vaughn already has 1 touchdown to his credit, also has an INT.
I don't know if I want to kick it to Vaughn, Rufus.
Well, we'll see if they kick it away. Clock stopped for the moment, 19 seconds left here. Now we got a flag on the play.
That's going to be on Alexander Washington.
False start on the offense. Keen eye by the line judge, keeping the line judge very busy tonight.
So that's going to back them up another 5, as if they weren't already backed up far enough. What it does is it brings the Leuzinger return man up to the 25-yard line now, and gives us a chance to see exactly what kind of special team, particularly in the kick game, that the Lobos have.
You definitely don't want that. He returned one for 90. He can definitely return one for 60.
Looks like ball's going to go dead at the 25-yard line. Just dies in a mud hole over there.
25-yard line, the Olympians take over, 1st and 10.
So,
7 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
with 7 seconds left in the first quarter that has been pretty much dominated by the Leuzinger Olympians. They got off to the quick start, had another long 7-minute drive. That didn't result in any points, but they're leading right now, and unless something highly unusual happens, this first quarter will end with the Leuzinger Olympians holding on to a 7-0 lead.
And I definitely think Coach Damian Porter is talking to his team right now about getting through this drive without so many penalties. You had that drive last play, and you could have scored. Now let's get the game going. Let's score this time.
And you're exactly right, Sebastian, because, boy, I mean, there was just a plethora of flags on that last possession for the Olympian. Almost all of them the same call: illegal shift, illegal procedure.
Yeah, I lost count, Rufus.
So out of the shotgun, Santos has a couple of backs in the backfield with him, gives it off. That's Galera. Galera driving, picks up a good 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring us to the end of one. And so after one quarter here at City TV, the Leuzinger Olympians at home lead by a score of 7-0 over the Rancho Dominguez Lobos on City TV. So there you see Coach Porter is still inspiring his guys. They'll take the walk to the other end of the field, turn around and start coming in this direction.
And that's one thing I like about Coach Porter. He is always fired up. He is just as emotional as the players out there playing the game. And that's great signs from a coach. The players see that he cares and they want to play hard for him.
So when we come out of the quarter break, Leuzinger will have possession. It'll be 2nd down and 6, ball at about the 30-yard line. Another nice crowd out tonight for the Olympians. Keeping it on the ground. Boy, there's a first down. That's Galera with the carry. Adrian Galera, the junior running back. He's 5'8", 175 pounds.
That's 175 pounds of pure muscle running straight through that hole right there.
And the last drive that Leuzinger had, we saw them move the ball between the 20s. In fact, they got down to the 15-yard line before they started having the multiplicity of fouls that just disrupted their offensive rhythm completely. But they come out again and they're moving the ball here at their own 35-yard line. Wow.
Santos, some bad footing there in the backfield.
And Santos slips in the backfield.
Well, this field, and we know it has a couple of spots, and as you can see, there's virtually nothing you can do about that, man. That's just like running on ice right there.
Definitely, those mud spots can definitely slow you down.
Santos pass out in the flat. That's going to be an incompletion. Let's see. Okay. That's Heath Jones over on the side. As a matter of fact, we've seen him in action so much tonight. Let me go ahead and give you the officiating crew for tonight's contest. The referee, the white hat, that's Jay Belcher. Jay also a basketball official in the Long Beach unit. And working with him, the umpire is Ed Hines. The line judge who ran in to make that call, also a basketball official and a fine baseball official in the Pac-12, Heath Jones. The head linesman is Glenn Noya, and the back judge is C.W. Allen. So a 3rd and long for the Olympians. Scoreboard calls it 3rd and 15. Santos drops back. He's got some room. Pulls it down. He's running. Picks up a couple. It's going to be stopped way short of the first down, though, as he brought it out to the 40. He needed to get to the 47. So It'll be 4th and 7.
7 to go, and Coach Porter sends out the punt team.
And on that drive, Leuzinger just could not put together any good runs there. You see Santos didn't have anything. He had to take it himself. Now we're kicking off.
So again, handling the punting duties as well as the place kicking duties is Steven Ortiz. Back to receive. Let's see if we can get an angle, see his number here. Can't see it real good. Got the kick away against some pressure. Now we can see that it's number 21, Rice. Rice heads to the sideline, and he brings it out to what would appear to be the 36-yard line.
You see Kyrie Rice putting on a little steam, just not able to get where he needed to go. And right now, you got two guys out there that coach is definitely relying on. You got Kyrie Rice and number 84, James Morgan.
So they spotted over on the far hash mark. We'll explain how that works to you a little bit later. Now this time, okay, trying to get on track. Who's done a good job tonight, Isaiah Black, except Black hit one of those slick spots also, and his feet started spinning, and his spinning feet gave the Leuzinger defender an opportunity to get in there and make the tackle. You see him start to slide right there.
Yeah, it definitely got caught in the mud.
Wow, there's the interception for the Olympians. Number 7, Isaiah Gonzalez. That's the easiest pass he'll catch all season because it was thrown right to him as if though he was the intended receiver.
And that's the second interception for Mustafa Muhammad tonight. Just throws it right to Isaiah Gonzalez, taken down by James Morgan.
At the 9:13 mark, Leuzinger with excellent field position now because they're in Lobos territory at the Lobos 42-yard line, 1st and 10. And that INT once again by, I want to make sure we give him credit, that was Isaiah Gonzalez, number 7.
And that is going to kill them tonight.
Another illegal motion on the Olympians.
Another flag against the Olympians.
1st and 15 from the Lobo 47-yard line.
You know, I can't figure it out, Rufus. What do you think is causing that penalty to keep on happening?
Guys just don't know the play. They you know, that's a skill issue there. That's a fundamental. It's a concentration thing. It's a lot of things. A lot of the little things that were talked about, and that's what Coach Porter was talking about when he talked about the little things. There's another man to move, big number 57, over on the left side. We saw him move.
It's an illegal motion again.
And that's another one.
About 1st and 20 now. Back in the Leuzinger territory from the 51.
And you keep hearing me refer to them as the Lobos. Of course, they're out of Long Beach, Santa Fe Avenue.
There's no such thing as a 51-yard.
That's where they come from. They play in the Exposition League, and I'll develop that thought in just a moment. Here's another play. The Olympians keeping it on the ground. That's Galera with a pretty good run to get back some of that yardage.
Got off the fictitious 51-yard line and got to the
Gets it
Lobo,
down to the 45. The first down is at the 32-yard line.
And that there, you see that run by Adrian Galera. That's a very effective play. If guys get into their spots and know where they're supposed to be at the right time, they can run that play all night.
And Sebastian, I'm going to let you take those replays away as they pop up. Santos keeps it himself. An excellent fake by Santos. Boy, he gets hit, bounces off of it. He's bouncing around like a pinball. Finally is going to be brought down as he gets back. near and just past the original line of scrimmage, which was the 42. They're going to say his forward progress was at the 40.
And Santos just in a maze. He gets through. He says, I'm going over here. No, I'm going over here. No, I'm coming back over here. And I finally go down.
And Desmond Victor put a lick on him, but obviously he wasn't moved by it as he just bounced off of that hit and kept going, as you said. So now it's a 3rd down and long for the Olympians. Ball's at the 40. They need to get to the 32 to pick up the 1st down.
And Leuzinger clearly has the tools to get down the field on offense. Let's see if they can do it here as Santos rolls out.
Hits his receiver over the middle. That's going to be enough for the 1st down. How many times have we called his name tonight? Nathaniel Vaughn here in less than a quarter and a half. Sebastian is making a strong case.
You see, he has double coverage on him right now.
10 Olympians on the Lobo 25-yard line.
A strong case, as I was saying, for that POG, and certainly no less than the TOH. So now we're going to have a timeout. That timeout's going to be taken by Coach Wayne Crawford and the Lobos of Rancho Dominguez.
Timeout taken by Los Lobos.
Well, Rufus, so far we see here that the Leuzinger Olympians are effective going down the field. But how can they put an end to those penalties is going to be the question for tonight's game.
And that's going to be, you know, you would certainly hate to see a game that they have pretty much controlled, I would say, thus far here in the 1st quarter and nearly a quarter and a half.
And that's that replay. You see Nathaniel Vaughn just jumps up and catches that pass. And he's brought down by Brandon Cannon of Rancho Dominguez.
So, as Coach was saying, the hallmarks, the things that are important, focus, discipline. Those are the things that Leuzinger has to have in order to be successful. It's a work in progress, but play by play, they're getting a little better at it. Wow, nice inside run, bounce to the outside, still on his feet. That's Khalil Miller, finally driven out, but not until after he gets inside the 10-yard line.
Khalil Miller with a very nice run out to the left side of the field. That'll be a 1st down for the Olympians. You see the stutter step right there. And he's off to the races. Gets another one, gets a blocker right there.
Excellent run. And finally some contact to slow him up, and Brandon Cannon steps in to bring him down, but not until after he picks up a 1st down and they spot him at close to the 5-yard line. And here's another flag on the play, and that's going to be an illegal substitution penalty against the Olympians.
That's another penalty for the Olympians.
Illegal substitution.
Well, it broke the huddle with 12 men. Apparently one of the guys was hustling off, and you cannot do that. So out of the I formation, they give it to the second back through, and that's Galera. Goes in, standing up, touchdown from 10 yards out. Touchdown run by Adrian Galera.
And that is exactly what I'm talking about for Leuzinger. That play works every single time. As you see, he gets the ball, runs it up the gut, goes behind his blocker, stays on the balls of his feet. He keeps going, pushes, and he's in there.
So Adrian Galera gets in the books for the Olympians. Extra point attempt by Ortiz now coming up. Santos will be with the hold. Snap low, but gets it down, gets it up, and it is good. So,
and Ortiz makes this a 14-0 game.
And those 14 points, as we look at Leuzinger's performance on the season, that's considered virtually a scoring outburst for the Olympians. So, home fans are excited about what they see as their Olympians right now in control, firmly in control.
And I definitely saw that last week, Rufus. The energy is back here in Leuzinger. They feel like Coach Damian Porter is a guy that they can really believe in, and he's going to do some great things with this team in the near future.
And the 14 points, already the most that the Olympians for this season have put on the board.
And they definitely are going to add to that tonight, I believe.
Now, is that where you started at in terms of, you sound like you're for the Olympians now. Our ladies on the sideline, they made their call early. Well, you got to bring him down. You can't just push him.
I feel like the Olympians are a better offensive team. I think the only thing that's stopping them are those penalties and those mental laps. And you see right here, Brandon Cannon gets the replay, tries to get loose. Couple stiff arms right there. Looks like a little bit of a face mask. He goes down.
And you're right. I think there was a lot of the face mask called that time that the officials weren't able to see. Or an infraction, I should say, that they weren't able to see.
Flags on the play, penalty before the snap.
And
Going to be on the offense.
so that's going to back up Lobos 5 yards. It's going to make it a 1st and 15 now.
1st and 15 from the 25-yard line.
And that's a penalty for Rancho Dominguez. And if you're Mustafa Muhammad right here, you have to be poised in this situation. You cannot allow your team to go down and throw another pick.
That pass out in the flat, little flare pass intended for Kyrie Rice. It goes incomplete. Another.
Oh, Mustafa Muhammad threw a great pass right there. Kyrie just couldn't hold on. Right in his hands, just goes straight through.
One of the things I was going to say about this team that's interesting, Sebastian, is that they're in Long Beach, home of the Moore League and also the Southern section, but they play in the Los Angeles City section.
Right, and that can definitely change things. So they've seen a lot of great teams.
Muhammad rolls out right, lays up the pass. It's intended for number 26, Jerry Phillips, but it goes incomplete. And I'm starting to think that Mustafa Muhammad, their quarterback, may have to bring this thing down and do it and start to work on the ground. You know, the other guy we haven't seen much or called many times tonight, the coach told us about one, well, we've seen Isaiah Black, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Here's a big third down play, 3rd down and 15.
And I think Mustafa has a lot of confidence in himself, and he keeps making those throws because he knows that he can definitely get himself in the game.
Almost a must-passing situation. Boy, pass laid up. It's going to be intercepted. That interception is by Markel Allen. That's the 3rd interception for the Olympians tonight.
Olympians take over. 1st and 10 in Rancho Dominguez territory.
Wow, that's the 3rd interception, like you said, Rufus, for Mustafa Muhammad. And it's pretty tough right now for the Rancho Dominguez team to try to get in there on offense and do some things. Your quarterback has to be the one to lead you, or the run game. I say you keep going to Isaiah Black at this moment.
Exactly. The efforts through the air haven't been too productive. And again, the Olympians, Sebastian, get the ball in excellent field position. Santos with a couple of guys in the backfield, gives it to Galera. Galera has room over here to the right and just couldn't get the corner turn. Boy, trying to set up the block for him was Vaughn, and Vaughn and his man got mixed up. If Vaughn had been able to set the block, Sebastian, might have been a long game.
It definitely would have been a touchdown. And like I said earlier, that sweep to the right plays with Adrian Galera, they work. This Leuzinger team is definitely taking advantage of the mental lapse from the defensive team of Rancho Dominguez.
So it's a second down and short for the Olympians. Clock is stopped. Got a timeout that's going to be taken. That's their third and final here in the first half. So with 5:30 to go, they'll have to make it without any additional timeouts. But Coach Crawford definitely not wanting this game to get away from him as they right now trail 14-0.
Yeah, and down 14-0, Rufus. I'm asking you for your football expertise. Would you keep Mustafa Muhammad in the game right now after throwing those 3 interceptions in the first half?
Well, I saw a guy stay in the game last night who threw 4 interceptions. So I don't know why you take a guy out with 3, but I think you said it best earlier, Sebastian. You said you got to come away from the passing game and go back to your ground game that you were having a lot of success with. Only problem is if the hole gets any deeper, it almost forces you to abandon the ground game. So this is going to be a huge defensive stand for these Lobos on this set of downs, and it's second down and short for the Olympians. They've got to make some defensive plays if they want to stay in this game.
Definitely.
Out of shotgun, Santos drops back, looks left, looks right, puts it up in the air. His intended receiver is Vaughn. Vaughn's caught it in between 2 defenders, and he's going to be down inside the 5 at about the 3. Boy, he split Brandon Cannon as you see the replay.
Nathaniel Vaughn just gets that right in between 2 receivers. You see that ball beautifully thrown, and he catches it, and he's brought down.
And that was caught in between Brandon Cannon and Dimitri Hunter, and it's going to be a first and goal for the Olympians at they're going to call it the 2-yard line that it's at. So the Olympians knocking on the door again. Galera with the carry, and Galera gets in. So 5:07, 2-yard run. Galera. And that's 2 touchdowns for Galera now. And Galera is saying, well, hold on, not so fast. You know, as Lou Corson would say.
And you see Adrian Galera gets in right there for those 2 yards. And that was a good run by him. But let's not be mistaken, folks. Nathaniel Vaughn definitely set that play up with that awesome catch.
Kick is low, he gets it up, and again, it's good. So, once again, doing the trick for the Olympians is number 24, that's Ortiz, number 34, I should say, Steven Ortiz.
Ortiz doing a great job of doing what he's supposed to do, going out there and making those extra points.
Okay, and while we've got a moment of breaking action, let's go down to McCall Hall.
All right, going into this next drive, the Rancho Dominguez coaching staff has challenged everybody on offense to make a wall. They are struggling on offense, and the coaches have emphasized it's because we're not blocking and we're not making a wall. So as they make this drive down the field, be on the lookout and watch their linemen. See if they can protect the rush, see if they can protect the run, see if they can protect their players, get down the field, and make a wall. Back to you guys.
Thank you, McCall. And
that's a great catch right there. Looks almost like he dropped it on the way down, but he caught it definitely, and it was a great catch by Nathaniel Vaughn.
So Ortiz prepares the kickoff, back to receive on the near side is Cannon, on the far side is Rice. This one's going to sail into the end zone, automatic touchback. So that'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and that's where Mustafa Muhammad and his Lobos will go on offense with 5:07 left here in the first half. Our score, the Leuzinger Olympians dominating right now, 21-0. And Sebastian, this will be an opportunity to see if Coach Crawford employs some of those ideas that you had about what he should be doing with Mustafa Muhammad.
Yeah, definitely. You got to go through Isaiah Black right now.
Well, the first thing, he didn't listen to you because two things. One, he kept Mustafa Muhammad at quarterback, and secondly, he came out throwing again.
He don't have to listen to me. I'm just calling the game.
So that'll make it a 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Sends a man in motion. On the reverse, gives it to number 23. That's Isaiah Black. I think the Olympians may have figured out the puzzle of Isaiah Black. Good tackle there. Good wrap-up tackle by the Leuzinger defender.
And Leuzinger is just pretty much starting to catch on to this team and what they have to do. They said, hey, their quarterback is not having a good game right now, so he's not ready to throw the ball. Let's protect that run game.
3rd and 10. Here's a pass out in the flat. Boy, gets by the first defender. Enough to pick up the first down. So a big first down there by the Lobos.
And that's number 21, Kyrie Rice. Coach talked about him before the game. He's another one of those guys that can really go. As you see him jumps up and catch this pass right here, goes through, gets the yardage, puts on the jets a little bit, gets tackled right there.
But not until after he picked up the first down as the ball is out across the 30-yard line. Now we got a stoppage in play. Looks like the Olympians called that timeout. A little bit of confusion getting their defenders out on the field. So the Olympians have used their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 remaining. We've got 4:18 left here in the first half. A half in which the Leuzinger Olympians have intercepted 3 passes of Mustafa Muhammad. They've got 3 touchdowns. It started right off the bat with a 95-yard kickoff return by Vaughn. Vaughn followed that up 2 minutes later with an interception. Then Isaiah Gonzalez in the 2nd quarter, he came back with an interception. And that led to a 10-yard run by Galera. Then Markel Allen at 5:48 came up with another interception, and that led to another score. So Leuzinger has 14 points off of turnovers alone.
Yeah, definitely. That's half of the points coming from the night, more than half of the points coming from the defense just being out there playing hard.
So that play in the scrum, that was a first down play. Goes for virtually no gain. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Lobos. They were able to convert on 2nd and long, and once again, that's Isaiah Black with the carry. Wow, this time, okay, they give it. That was a good-looking start to it. Let's see what they say. Heath Jones is going to make the call. He was a side official. He quickly indicates it's going to be 3rd down.
3rd down, 6 yards to go for Rancho Dominguez.
And this is just Leuzinger just basically figuring out what this team is going to do. You see Kyrie Rice gets to the outside. He's brought down by number 42, Samsoni Lakai.
Wow. And on that call, I guess if you're an Olympian, you're saying technically he wasn't on the ground because he was on top of the defender. There's Rice again, and this time Rice is going to be brought down in the backfield. A loss of yardage on the play. It's going to take him back near near where this set of down started, which was the 32. So it's going to be 4th and 10.
And that's just great anticipation by Angelo Smith, getting out there in the backfield, tackling Isaiah Black, make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
So back to receive the punt for the Olympians. Number 3, Nathaniel Vaughn. Mr. Excitement, Mr. Electricity tonight. There's the snap, there's the kick. Will Vaughn get a chance to handle it? It's gonna hit. Vaughn steps away from it wisely, and it'll roll dead at about the 26-yard line, maybe 27. Looks like they're gonna spot it at the 27-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians. 2:31 left here in the first half. As you see the Olympian cheer squad, you see the fans. I think that's actually, well, no, that's a part of the cheer squad.
I think those are the junior varsity girls.
Okay, well, everybody's in on the action right now. This Olympian crowd feeling pretty good, coming off a tough week last week against the Lawndale Cardinals, but they took one on the chin here at home. They're rebounding nicely, though.
Definitely tough losing to your arch nemesis at that crosstown rival, but you're up 21-0 right now. Another pass to Nathaniel Vaughn, and he gets free.
Breaks free, got one man to beat. Round, and with a touchdown saving tackle, that was number 11, Kevin Scroggins. Scroggins comes up limping a little bit, but boy, you talk about making a touchdown saving tackle, that's what Scroggins did.
As you see, Nathaniel Vaughn gets away from that guy, gets away from two, but he's brought down right there by number 11, Kevin Scroggins. I think he's making a strong case for the player of the game, Rufus, and the tip of the hat.
So one man back. Santos forced to bring it down. Good defensive effort that time by Andrew Wells, number 32 for the Lobos.
And this game is far from over. It's far from over. If you're Rancho Dominguez, you gotta play some defense right now and come back in that second half and retain dominance.
Well, that's what they've got to do, but that's asking a whole lot right now. They simply want to get out of this first half without that hole being dug any deeper. Santos throws over the middle, hits his receiver. Boy, and clock's going to continue to run. That was number 83 in the program.
And that was Maurice Garland for that catch.
So Leuzinger with one first down.
See that nice catch right there by Garland.
Of course, the first down stops the clock. They'll indicate that on the ready, run it. Plenty of time left here with 1:15 and a timeout in your pocket. I'm sure the Olympians would love to add to this 21-0 lead. Santos keeps it on the ground. That's going to force them, I think, to use that timeout. Unless they run a hurry-up offense. Clock's running. You got an Olympian down hurt. Now the official indicates that he wants an official timeout. Looks like you got an Olympian that's cramped up. I know one of our folks will get in to give us the insight. As we see on the replay, well, that's Santos with the carry there, but one of his big linemen is down.
And that looks like Samisi Lawaki.
Samsoni Lawaki, is that who that is? Yeah, Samsoni Lawaki. Oh, okay, there you go, Samisi. All right, thank you. It looks like Tamara Latta is getting ready with the hit. Is she ready? Okay. Hey, let's see if Tamara Latta has something for us. Let's go down sideline.
The one thing Coach Porter wanted from his players was attitude and a great mindset. So far, they have showed up with 3 fumbles and 2 touchdowns. Let's see if they can carry this over to the second half. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Tammy. Again, noting that this Leuzinger defense has forced the action against the offense of the Lobos. And as Sebastian indicated, that is number 50, Samisi Laaki, who's coming off. Looks like a knee. We had hoped it was a cramp, but so far he's still standing up and hasn't made his way to the bench yet.
And we're glad to see that young man walk off on his own power.
Yeah.
Up the sideline, incomplete, in and out of the hands of number 21, Khalil Miller.
That pass intended for Khalil Miller. And back there with pretty good coverage was Alexander Washington on the play, who I think obstructed the vision of Miller for just a moment. And that was enough for the pass to fall incomplete. Still one timeout in Coach Porter's pocket, 3rd and 10.
And if you're Leuzinger, you want to finish this quarter out on at least a field goal to try to put yourself in great, well, they're already in great momentum, but you just want to finish the half off on a good note.
Exactly. Santos with the keeper. Santos running. Santos gets up the field. Doesn't get the first down. I don't think. Well, he does get the first down, so that'll stop the clock. That gives him a chance to get set without burning a timeout. Now the clock will start on the ready, and so now the clock starts.
That's good awareness by Santos.
And then Santos spikes the ball, but we've also got a flag on the play. I think one of the Leuzinger linemen pulled out too soon, Sebastian. And it is a procedure flag against the Olympians.
Yeah, that false start on the Olympians. It's going to bring them back 5 yards.
So they're going to spot the ball at the 25-yard line. 1st and 15 for the Olympians. Clock running. We're at 23 seconds. Now the Olympians are going to burn, I believe, that final timeout.
On the clock.
So with the timeout, we got 23 seconds left here in the first half. Ball's going to be spotted at the 25-yard line of the Lobos. Leuzinger knocking on the door. They've used their 3rd and final timeout. So the one thing, Sebastian, I would think that you got to do at this point is your options for going over the middle of the field are limited. You've got to be thinking sideline plays.
Definitely. That would be a nice sideline out to the running back. And we see that right here, now, right to the middle.
Yeah. But now you got to hustle up to the line of scrimmage. You can't walk, you got to run. Clock continues to run. Well, it must have picked up the first down, which is why they stopped it.
And they did pick up the first down.
And actually, it's 1st and 10. Now the clock's running. Come on, guys, we got to go. It's 10 seconds left.
I don't think the players know.
Well, I mean, there's utter confusion. Wait a second.
Their final timeout of the first half with 3 seconds left to go.
There's a timeout with 3 seconds. Okay, somewhere along the way, and marked the 3rd timeout, which apparently they had an additional timeout, Sebastian. Now, when we looked up, I thought there were like 18 seconds. Now, I understand that this isn't the NFL, but I'm here to tell you, I think if you got a timeout left, you could have gotten another playoff in it. But, you know, Coach Porter knows his guys not wanting to waste the opportunity, so they use the timeout to get set. There's the snap. It's down, and it's going to be blocked. So instead of the Olympians going into the locker room with a burst of momentum, instead the Lobos, by blocking that field goal attempt, they get to go in the locker room with just a spark.
And that's exactly what I talked about, finishing the half off with a spark out of your defense as well, not letting Leuzinger penetrate into that red zone. We'll see if they can come back in the second half.
All right, great. So with that, the teams head to the locker room. We've got Coach Crawford over on the far sideline with with Ms. Hall, so take it away.
All right, we're here with Coach Crawford of Rancho Dominguez. Coach, it seems like your quarterback is having a tough time getting some passes off. What can you guys do to help him make the right passes in the second half?
Well, we got to protect a little better, and he's got to make the right reads. He's throwing the ball deeper than he should. He should actually come underneath with the football. So hopefully we're going to go in the locker room and fix that, and hopefully in the second half we'll get him some underneath passes and get him going a little bit.
Absolutely. And Leuzinger's quarterback is kind of having your way with their defense. What can you do? What can you tell your defense to stop the bleeding on the run and in the air, because they're really having their way with you guys?
Well, our middle linebackers have to make sure they stay at home on that fly sweep. Instead of going with the sweep, they got to make sure that they stay inside to play the quarterback. He's having most of his yards up in there. And our defensive end has to do a better job of containing him when he rolls outside the pocket. That's the one play that's killing us right now.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, Coach. See you in the second half. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, McCall. And with that insight from Coach Crawford as he takes his team to the locker room, we will now go to halftime, and we'll come back with more second half action here on City TV Sports.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Okay, we're back here. Thank you, Sebastian. I couldn't quite hear Tom as well as I would have liked, but we're back ready for second half action here on City TV Sports. And as we prepare for the second half kickoff, which the Olympians will be kicking to the Lobos, and that's a stroke of good fortune for the Lobos. At least they get the ball to start the second half.
And definitely all that's happened with them in that first half, it is a bright spot to get the ball back at the beginning of the second half.
And that looks like Cannon here on the near side, number 14, Brandon Cannon. And over on the far side is Kyrie Rice, who will be handling the return duties for the Lobos. Wow, kind of a pooch kick. Still hasn't been picked up. Finally kicked up, and boy, delivering the goods with a big hit for the Olympians, number 44, J.J. Lava.
And J.J. Lava brought the house down. Boom! Have a seat, young man.
So that's the way. If the Lobos were looking for a wake-up call, I think they just got it.
It was definitely a wake-up call, and if it was anything, it was Leuzinger's message saying, hey, we're still in control of this game.
This time 4 receivers in the pattern. He drops back to pass. Pass is short, intended for one of his key receivers, and of course that was number 84, and that's James Morgan.
And Mustafa, that was a great throw right there. James Morgan just slipped on the end of that play. He can't catch a break tonight.
So, boy, they're putting 4 receivers in the pattern. Let's see how the Olympians are playing a 4-4 defense. They've got 4 down linemen with 4 linebackers and a couple of corners. They keep it on the ground this time, and pretty good carry that time. Looks like that was Isaiah Black. Let's see if it was. That was Isaiah Black, number 23.
And that's the kind of offense that you want to see from this team. Isaiah Black going straight up the middle. Them relying on him right now. He's going to have to be the guy in order for them to get back in this game. They give it to him again.
So after a couple of pass plays to start the third quarter, they now put it back on the ground where they've had most of their success tonight.
Definitely, and I think that's what's going to propel them to get back into this game. As you see, Isaiah Black with a strong run there, brought down by the Olympians.
Makes it a 2nd down and 4. Muhammad back to pass, slips a little bit, steps up. Now he's going to pull it down and go for it. Picks up the 1st down, turns the corner, finally driven out of bounds. Looks like, let's see where they spotted at. They're going to spot it right at midfield, and that's enough to move the chain. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lobos.
And Mustafa looks so much more confident there in the pocket. He goes in, makes the run, and that's exactly what Coach talked about when McCall interviewed him right before the half, is they need to protect him as well.
So another play keeps it on the ground, and boy, this time they pick up a good 7 on the play. So right now, this their best looking drive of the game so far.
And you see that, another run right there.
Big snap. Lobos make forward.
So,
and that's Isaiah Black down again.
First down, Rancho Dominguez.
And they are really putting trust in him in this second half. He's had the last 3 carries.
39-yard line.
Well, what they've done is seemingly they've simplified the playbook. Although they do have the Olympians a little bit off stride because they've got 4 guys in the pass pattern, and they're keeping it on the ground. So that's spreading out this Leuzinger defense a whole lot. Now we've got a late flag coming in, which normally from the position it came means it's going to be against the defense, typically speaking. Let's see what the referee, Jay Belshaw, says.
5-yard gain before the penalty. We're waiting on the call from the official.
Personal foul face mask against the Olympians. Boy, and that's going to be 15 tacked on to the end of that run.
That's Brandon Cannon there getting inside of the end of that drive. And now you kind of see Leuzinger on their heels on the defensive end.
Wow. And this, thus far, is the deepest that the Lobos have been into Leuzinger territory. This ball is going to be spotted inside the 20 at about the 18. And once again, keeping it on the ground with the carry. That's Brandon Cannon.
Brandon Cannon with that run there. You see he cuts in the middle, small gain there for a few yards. And they are slowly moving the chains down the field, trying to get their first touchdown of the night.
Isaiah Black comes back on. He gets the carry. Boy, he's a load to handle, and he pushes the pile forward a few yards, still pushing the pile.
Isaiah Black, way to stay on your feet and keep the ball moving forward.
Wow. So now you've got a 1st and 10 Lobos, as it's been all Lobos here in this half. They've taken the opening kickoff of the second half and driven down inside the 10-yard line, and now Mustafa Muhammad keeps it himself. He's heading for the edge. Will he get there? Yes, he does. So
that's just a great run by Mustafa Muhammad, keeping his head in the game. After you come down, you get back in the game. Fake handoff to Isaiah Black, stiff arm right there, going to the left side. He keeps going, and he gets the touchdown.
And that run was from about 6 yards out, so it's a touchdown, and they get on the board. And right after the extra point attempt will go down to Camerlata. But snap, hold, kick. Good. So, with 9:30 left in the third quarter, the Lobos have managed to claw their way back in, and as they prepare for kickoff, let's go down sideline to Camerlata.
I had a chance to talk to Leuzinger's head coach at halftime, and he told me we need the same effort and intensity that we had in the first half. The message in the locker room was the score is 0-0. Let's see how the team responds to his message. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tamara. And you're right. Well, if it was 0-0 in his mind's eye, now they're down 7 points. Because, but I understand what she was saying. That's nothing against Tamara, but and the coach had a point. But his team came out, boy, and they let the Lobos march the field on them and cap it off with a 6-yard TD run.
And definitely the Lobos came out in this second half ready to play. You can see they were adamant about putting that ball on the ground and getting the run game going.
So they saw something during the course of that first half that they felt they could exploit. One of the things they did, as we talked about, was that they spread out that Leuzinger defense. They put 4 receivers in the pattern, 4 wideouts, 2 guys in the slot and 2 guys out on the edges, and that opened up some running lanes for basically for Isaiah Black.
Yeah, definitely. That opened up the run game for a lot of these players. It's a lot of fast players on this team, and you also have Mustafa as a threat as well who can run the ball.
So Leuzinger takes the kickoff. They've got a head of steam. That's number 21. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down Khalil Miller, but not until after he gets out near the 30-yard line. So good return for the Olympians. Good kickoff return as they'll set up shop at their own 30.
And Khalil Miller puts the Jets on here, gets the losing Olympians to the 31-yard line.
So their first taste of the ball here in the second half for the Olympians. Rancho Dominguez did what they wanted to accomplish, and one of the things that you had noted much earlier, in fact, in the pregame, Sebastian, that is, boy, there's not a lot of guys on that Rancho Dominguez team.
It's not, and you got to give credit to them for playing hard right now and definitely getting on the field and playing with what they have.
And, boy, you can almost count what they got. I don't even think they've got 22 guys in uniform.
Second and 7, Olympians.
Which means they have very low margin for error in terms of injuries, getting tight, getting fatigued, everything else. And you got to think, as a part of any opponent's strategy against them, is simply to wear them down.
Yeah, definitely. And you can tell that they're playing with a lot more bounce in their step.
And off to Valera, gets a nice block for his fullback in his goal line, able to break the tackle.
And Adrian Galera takes it out over the 40. That's enough for the first down.
And that's nothing new. Adrian Galera likes getting out to that right side. And he gets through, he trips over somebody, could have got a little bit more yards.
So first down for the Olympians at the 41. Once again, they fake it. Santos keeps it himself. Nowhere to go, though. Good defensive play that time by Stanley Tavita, one of the guys that Coach Crawford told us was going to be key in his defensive effort tonight.
And definitely Stanley Tavita is a man out there on the field. You can tell he's a lot bigger than most of these players out here. And at that linebacker position, he definitely requires a lot of dominance.
So it makes it a second down and 12 now for the Olympians. Ball just outside the 40-yard line. Snap is low. Chandler, all they can do, good job of just falling on it. That was Khalil Miller, did the absolute right thing. Rather than trying to pick it up and run, Sebastian, he knew that the only thing I can do at this point is fall on it, and that's what he did.
Definitely, that's just a heads-up play, but also a bad snap as well by the center, and that was pretty low. I don't know how you expect your quarterback to catch that one.
And now you've got what's about a 3rd and 21.
They definitely got some ground to cover up.
They need to get inside the 50 down to about the 48 of Rancho Dominguez. This play is going to be snapped from the 28-yard line, 27. So there's a ways to go. This one they got to put in the air at some point. Nothing doing there. Well, he's keeping it still on his feet. Okay. So a bit of excitement, but this Rancho Dominguez team says, no, there's no way we're going to let you pick up 21 yards on the ground. But Santos did give it a good effort.
And Santos almost got away. If he didn't have, if Brandon Cannon did not get hold of his foot right there, that might have been going.
Well, that's the point. I mean, they have all of their best players on the field, and eventually you're going to run into one of them. And Brandon Cannon has shown that he's a good player. There's a snap, back to receive is Kyrie Rice. Rice picks it up. There's a flag on the play. Rice is looking to get to the corner. He's got now a couple of Olympians catch him up. He was slowed down. Wow. And you could have had another flag on that play, quite frankly, on the sideline. Referees hold that flag, but there's going to be a flag back up the field on the return.
Flag. Back around where he received the kick. Looks like it's going to be a block in the back. And it is. Block in the back on the Lobos.
So this one is going to go against Rancho Dominguez.
It'll be 15 yards.
It's going to be
that block right there.
Good call, Sebastian. So they say the foul occurred at the 30. They move it back 10 yards to the 20. So net, your traditional starting point on the drive. So that's decent field position. Boy, it certainly could have been worse for him. So actually a bit of good fortune in a strange sort of way for the Lobos, in that they didn't get pinned deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that would have been very bad for them.
Let's see, so.
Timeout taken, Leuzinger. First charge timeout in the second half.
And Damian Porter calls timeout right now. I'm pretty sure he wants to gather his guys up and regroup their focus right now, because with 6 minutes left in the game and the Lobos have the ball, if they score here, we got ourselves a football game.
Well, I'll only say we've got a little more than 6 minutes left in the game. This is only the third quarter. I know you're anxious to get on to your Friday night festivities, but there's still a little bit of football left to be played. We've got about 18 minutes left.
I meant the third.
But it's been a good night here at Olympian Field. The crowd's really been into it. Boy, the band, the cheer squad, all of those here. You know, what you've seen here at Leuzinger, as you have in our other schools in the Centinela Valley District, is a whole new sense of enthusiasm. I'll come back to that in a moment. Keeping the ball on the ground. And that time with Rice, now we got a late flag coming in, boy. So, and this one may go against the Olympians. I see them pushing a couple of Olympians out of there.
Brandon Cannon there on the run with a little push after he got up. It might be on him.
Waiting for the officials. I would have called.
Yeah, you see Brandon Cannon with the run there. He gets tackled. And if we show that replay of him getting up.
Okay, we're going to stay with it for a second.
We didn't show it, but I think he hit a player in the face with his hand.
No. All right. While they sort it out, let's go down for a quick hit with McCall Hall.
All right, the key for Rancho Dominguez for the rest of the game for their offense, Coach Crawford has let them know, you guys, you have to trust your teammates. If you're headed downfield and you're rushing, trust that your teammates will make the block for you. But Coach Crawford has let them know, keep the pedal to the metal, keep running, trust your teammates, make the blocks, and we'll get some more scores. They're going to keep it going. Back to you guys.
Wow. Rice turned that play back inside. Sebastian, man, I thought I saw nothing but real estate coming this way. And if we have the replay, boy, you talk about turning it back inside. Here you'll see on the replay, hopefully we'll get the angle. Here it is. What you don't see is that everything is in front of you, just like you were just looking. For whatever reason, Isaiah Black turned back into the defense.
And sometimes running backs do that not knowing, but you have to be aware of what's going on the field and the coverage that you have. And that pass right there was almost intercepted.
Tipped twice by the Olympians. One of the times that was Adrian Galera, and that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Lobos. And now back to receive is Nathaniel Vaughn. So they set up the punt, high snap, but he gets it off.
And Isaiah Black, the running back, is also the kicker.
And so once again, the Olympians with good field position. They don't get a chance at the return. Ball stops dead at the 47, let's call it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians. A little bit of a fall breeze has kicked up in the air, Sebastian.
Definitely feel that fall winter weather starting to set in here at Olympians Field.
Okay, so with 4:46 left in the third, Olympians with the ball. This quarter started, of course, with the possession by the Lobos, and they marched the field, got on the board in a game in which they trailed 21-0 coming out of the locker room. Now the Olympians looking to get back going here. Wow, a good open field tackle. Ball comes loose. Official indicates that he was down.
Gain about 6 yards.
And now it looks like we may have an injured player on the field.
On the Lobo side of the field, it's 2nd and 4 of the Rancho Dominguez.
You see on this replay right here, folks, Adrian Galera, like I said, likes to get out to that right side. Gets hit and then gets clipped right there while he's in the air.
Okay, it looks like that's Galera that's down on the field. Let's see, and let's see if one of our people.
I can't really tell what type of injury he had there, but he's smiling down there. It looks like he's in good spirits, so let's hope he can walk off the field on his own power.
Okay, well, hopefully Tammy will get in there a little bit closer so you can get a feel for the action. Our camera people, and there we see it. It is Galera that's down on the field. So that much we were at least able to establish, Sebastian.
And from what it looks like here, I'm trying to see real close. You see his ankle. It looks like the side of his knee got hit. If anything, he might be cramping up. That's what that might be. It looks like he was getting stretched out over there, and he's walking over now.
Okay.
And Galera lays back on the side, and it looks like that might be a cramp, Rufus.
Okay, back to live action. Flag on the play. Boy, with the carry is Lionel Smith.
About a 13-yard gain. There's a flag back down the line of scrimmage.
And Lionel Smith with the good run there. There's a flag down on the field.
Illegal procedure on the Olympian.
As you see the replay here, gets out to the outfield side.
Line judge is real busy with that play.
Okay, so it was a procedure call against the Olympians. That play goes for naught. They'll back it up. Replay 2nd down.
So replay 2nd down. It's going to be 2nd down about 8 yards ago.
So, for the Olympians, 4:16 clock running here in the third. Actions, the pace slowed just a bit, but it came out with a pretty quick pace. and now it's slowed down some, but the Olympians still lead 21-7 here at Olympian Field, and of course it's their ball. Santos is the quarterback. Continuously 4 snaps. I mean, there have been a number. Now that play didn't unfold because it started out with a mistake, the low snap, and that just disrupts the rhythm on everything.
Definitely, and that's what's killing him. You see right there, he has to pick it up and give it to Khalil Miller as he's tackled right there as he gains about 2 yards. But see, this is an important drive for Leuzinger because Rancho Dominguez, they have stopped them the last drive, and then if they stop them this drive and get the ball back, it's going to say a lot about their defensive tenacity right now.
Okay, so 3rd and long for the Olympians. Outside the 50, they've got to get inside the 45-yard line. That pass reception is made. That's the first down. That was Lionel Smith. Lionel Smith keeps the drive alive, and they get a new set of downs as the ball's going to be marked at the 34-yard line.
And that's just great agility right there by Lionel Smith, catching that ball low and able to get right back up.
So we still don't see Adrian Galera yet, still being attended to on the sideline. Hopefully we'll get some information about his condition before the quarter, and if not before the quarter, certainly at the quarter break.
And it looks like they're just stretching him out right now, trying to get him back in the game.
Okay, well, okay, once again, there's going to be your illegal shift. I'm almost sure will be the call coming from the official. Well, let's see which way they call it. Shift, start, illegal motion, whatever it is. This time, illegal procedure.
5-yard penalty. Making the referees earn their paychecks tonight.
You see that same play. That same formation that allowed the Leuzinger Olympians to get 4 flags in the second quarter off the exact same thing.
So now 1st and 15. From the 37, that's a good snap. Out in the flat, boy, they make the completion. Let's see if they can get anything out of it. Don't get much out of it. Whole lot of action. In reality, actually doesn't go for any gain on the play.
No, and that's a play where Lionel Smith catches the ball, gets inside, and he's hit as soon as he's able to get some momentum.
So, 2nd down and 13 for the Olympians.
And that's another bad snap, but Santos makes of it what he can.
Santos pass complete.
And that is a nice pass to Maurice Garland once again. He's been targeted a few times here tonight. He is a good receiver with some great hands, as you can see right here on this replay. Catches it, tucks it in, gets tackled right there by Alexander Washington.
I like his form on that play, Sebastian. Boy, put his hands out, caught the ball, brought it to his body, then made his football move.
Catching it away from the body is a must for these receivers. That's great fundamentals, like you said.
Wow. Well, now that could be a, boy, that was
very close to being a flag.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm serious. You can see that the defender saw that the pass had been missed. Not quite sure there. I mean, they let that one go. But there's the mix. Okay, let's go down to Tamara Hall. I'm sorry, Tamara Ladder.
Leuzinger's running back Adrian Galera. Leuzinger's running back Adrian Galera is on the sidelines receiving treatment. It appears that he caught a bad cramp. The word is he will be returning back to the field. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tamara. Well, we both flubbed on that one. I called it Tamara Hall, and she had a bit of a false start, but she recovered nicely and got it going. So we know that she's Tamara Latta, and it's McCall Hall, who I know we'll be hearing from shortly. But glad to get that injury report regarding Adrian Galera. And there we see Andrew Wells, who jumped off sides on the play. And boy, that's going to take it from a 4th and long for the Olympians to a 4th and 1.
And see, this is where you cannot start to get your head out of the game. You've played great defense so far in this second half, got yourself a touchdown. Now allow yourself to get back in the game.
Olympians need 1 yard. They pick up at least 3. So
that'll be a first down for Leuzinger.
First down for the Olympians. Clock, 46 seconds, so it'll be another play here in the 3rd.
Khalil Miller just doing what he's been doing all night, getting those short runs in, putting on the Jets when he needs to.
So the Olympians, after taking a halftime nap for most of the 3rd quarter, they've now woken up and gotten themselves going. Santos drops back to pass, lays it up in the air. It's incomplete, throws it away on that play. Didn't even have a receiver in the zip code on that one.
I think he was trying to throw that one to McCall or Tamara.
And so it's going to make it a 2nd and 10. With the incompletion. Clock starts on the snap now.
And ladies and gentlemen, Galera is walking back to the sideline, so it looks like we might see him pretty soon.
And now they've got another Olympian that they're stretching out. This time to keep it on the ground, boy. And nothing doing there for Khalil Miller. And that'll take us down to the end of the 3rd quarter. So, after 3 quarters in the books here at Olympian Field, home of the Olympian Torch, otherwise known as Lou House, the Olympians looking to square up their record at 2-2. They're 12 minutes away from their 2nd W of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And all you have to do right now is just play good football. You're up 2 touchdowns. Try to get yourself a score in here because Rancho Dominguez is definitely coming hard. They're playing harder, and they proved already that they can go toe-to-toe with this Leuzinger team, especially defensively.
They did. They, again, had a very impressive opening drive in the 3rd quarter. Things kind of stalled for them after that, but, man, they had the ball on the ground, and they pounded. Now, the Olympians, again, as I said, came out a little bit sluggish, obviously, when they let this team march up the field and score. And their first couple of possessions, they didn't generate much. But here on their final possession in the 3rd, they started to get some things going for them.
Definitely. And you mentioned that coming out sluggish. That's going to happen with this team. They're 1-2 right now. They got their first victory. They're feeling a little too good about themselves right now, so they got to get back in the game and realize that you are playing a team that is 1-2 as well. They have a win, so they are looking to get their 2nd win just as you are.
All right. Well, in just a moment, we'll be underway with 4th quarter action here at Olympian Fields with the Olympians in possession. And it's a 3rd down, and I think the marker, well, it's Olympian ball. Okay, so the now marker, there's a pass too high. That one was intended for Suliasi Fakava, it looks like.
And Suliasi Fakava was all alone. That definitely would have been a touchdown. Just a little overthrown right there by Santos. You see right there, he's way in there.
Yeah, way too much air underneath that one. Yeah. Boy. That one sailed on him. So, ball's inside the 20. where it's going to be a 4th down. They need to get to the 10 to pick up a first. So they're going to go for it from here. Santos rolls right, hits his receiver. They've got a 1st down, and they've got a touchdown. That's Nathaniel Vaughn.
Nathaniel Vaughn does it again. He has been the man all night for the Leuzinger Olympians.
Looks like about an 18-yard TD pass.
Definitely 18 yards. Runs right there, tiptoes on that sideline, gets inside.
So,
and Rufus, I definitely think Leuzinger needed that touchdown.
All right, well, they got it. Now let's see Ortiz's extra point attempt. Snap, placement, kick, looks good.
And Steven Ortiz goes 4 for 4 for extra points. With 11 minutes and 47 seconds left, the score is Rancho Dominguez 7 and your Leuzinger Olympians 28.
And the Leuzinger fans are definitely excited about what they're seeing tonight here at home. And boy, you talk about some momentum going into the Mayor's Cup next week. This is an extra. This is the kind of momentum you need because they're going to be facing a very good Hawthorne Cougar team, as we mentioned earlier. But boy, this is going to be a real good week for them.
And definitely 2 programs that are in the process of being totally revamped. Coach Paysinger over there is definitely setting the tone at Hawthorne with those boys. They're playing a lot better than they have in the past years. He has them believing in the Cougars again. And the same thing here with Damian Porter. These kids are playing a lot better here at Leuzinger, and they look forward to getting that Mayor's Cup back at Lou House.
So, preparing the kickoff, Ortiz, who's rounded into being a very good special teams player, particularly handling the kicking duties. That's an excellent kickoff. Drives him back to the 5-yard line. From there, he'll bring it out. Brings it right up the middle, runs into a crowd, and going down at about the 26-yard line is going to be Kyrie Rice.
And Kyrie Rice catches the ball there, tries to accelerate. Starts off slow, grabs a little bit of speed. As soon as he gets in there, he slips. A lot of mud out there tonight, Rufus.
Field conditions the last couple of weeks haven't been ideal, but, you know, it's the same condition for both teams.
Definitely, you got to just play with it.
Of course, if you're the home team, you kind of know where those slick spots are. So this time, the Lobos keep it on the ground. Very little gain on the play. Let's see, that's Isaiah Black with the carry.
Well, Isaiah Black stopped as soon as he caught the ball.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of Olympians in their honor. He's the kind of back, you know, I think it wouldn't hurt, boy, if you had somebody leading him through some of those holes. Boy, Muhammad trying to get away, still trying to get away. But Samsoni Laauki says, no, I got you. And once he gets his mitts on you, it really is hard to get away.
You see, Mustafa almost got away.
But Laauki kept fighting with him and finally able to bring him down, and now it's a 3rd and about 12. Drops back in the thing, hits a receiver over the middle. Receiver doesn't have a lot of speed. Let's see who that was. That was big number 26. That was Jerry Phillips. I mean, Jerry made a good reception, Sebastian.
Yeah, Jerry with the nice catch. Doesn't accelerate quite as fast as Kyrie or James Morgan, but he still made the catch, and that's all that matters.
Carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
The ball was snapped. There's a play unfolding, and you still got 2 guys trying to get off the field for the Olympians. Well, illegal substitution against the Olympians.
Illegal substitution on the Olympians. I have too many men on the field.
You'll see here on the replay, of course, that's Mustafa Muhammad with the play. Basically, at that point, it's a free play. Now we've got something over on the far sideline that we can't see. Okay, looks like an equipment issue. So, referee Jay Belcher comes back this way. Well, we know it's an illegal substitution.
Fourth and short for the Lobos.
Wow. Now, Sebastian, real quick, does that change their decision making? You go from a 4th and 6 to a 4th and short. You're still deep in your own territory.
Inside handoff, met at the line of scrimmage.
Wow. Okay, well, looks like he got it.
And I think that's a good decision by getting it to Isaiah Black. If it's anybody that can move the chains, it's him.
First down for the Lobos.
I mean, you got to say it a little bit sooner than that. You can't wait until you see what happens and then go, oh, I think it was. So if he hadn't made it, I'm sure you would have said, oh, I think that was a bad decision. You know.
No, I mean, if you're trying to get back in this game, I go for that.
All right.
And they did.
Well, their good decision paid off with the first down. However, the Olympian defense turns right back around. That was J.J. Lavawa. We've been saying Lava, but I'm looking here, and I see that I've been missing the I in there, so that's J.J. Liava.
J.J. Liava.
Second down and 11 for the Lobos.
Oh, whoa, nearly intercepted by number 7 for the Olympians, Isaiah Gonzalez.
And Isaiah Gonzalez actually intercepted the very first interception that Mustafa Muhammad threw. He almost had 2 tonight.
Right. Well, the crowd putting on a nice show. I mean, there's so much enthusiasm, so much excitement around this Leuzinger football team, and so much school spirit here at Leuzinger.
Lobo pass incomplete.
That pass intended for Jerry Phillips falls incomplete, so now that's going to make it a 4th and 10. So this time, looks like they'll punt it away.
And that was a good throw by Mustafa. If you're Jerry Phillips, your receiver, you're gonna have to dive out and make that catch and make a play.
Just under 9 minutes left here in the ball game. Losing Olympians preparing to receive the punt. That's Nathaniel Vaughn back, who has had a huge game tonight. High snap, but the punter is able to handle it. There's the kick. Will Vaughn get a chance? No, he won't. He decides to let it bounce by him. They'll let it roll until it comes to a dead stop, and it does eventually. Looks like at about, wow, the 10-yard line. So that's where the Olympians will go on offense from their own 10, 8:46 left in the contest, with the Olympians leading by a score of 28-7. So your thoughts, Sebastian, at this point in terms of 8:46 left in the game, what the Olympians need to do to bring this W on home?
I think you just stay patient with the same guys that you have. You got Adrian Galera back in the game. I think you run the ball, maybe a couple short passes here and there, but you don't want to risk any high passes or anything, as we see Galera goes to the outside and picks up a couple yards.
Good hard running by Galera again. Coming off what was described as a cramp in the third period that kept him out for quite a bit of time. But
he looks just fine.
He certainly does, Sebastian. Looks real good. Glad to see that. So it's a second down now, second down and about 6. Scoreboard says 5, so we'll go with that for the moment. 2nd and 5 for the Olympians. Ball at the 13. They need to get to the 18-yard line. Once again, keeping it on the ground. That's Galera. Not sure he got much on that. Maybe a yard. That's going to make it a 3rd and 4 for the Olympians now.
And Galera just back in the game like he never left. Just keeps on trucking. You can see the run here.
This one of those plays, you know, if you're a football team, considering where the ball is deep in your own territory, you definitely want to pick up a first down here, because if you're forced to kick, they're almost guaranteed to get the football in good field position.
Definitely.
Boy, and that's a low snap again. Boy, that's not Santos's fault. You got to look at your center and say, hey, what's going on there?
Yeah, and the snap before that actually was very low as well. You can see the replay here. He has to pick it up again.
The time lost picking it up blows up your play completely.
Definitely, and you cannot have that as a center.
And this is exactly what I was just talking about, that you wanted to convert on first down, where they never even get a legitimate shot at the first down conversion, and instead they lose ground on the play. And now Ortiz will have to kick out of his own end zone. So you're in a situation where any number of things that can happen that wouldn't be good for the Olympians, but Ortiz gets it away. Let's see if Rice picks it up. He's got some running room. Evades the first man. Let's see if that wall that we heard about unfolds. Rice still, after a couple of hits on his feet, finally driven out of bounds, but not until after he gets into Leuzinger territory, deep in the Leuzinger territory at about the 30, but we've got a flag back at the Leuzinger 45-yard line.
We got one on the 45-yard line, another one at the 35-yard line.
We got 2 flags out there.
Okay, it appeared to be a hold. That one called against Olympians, and now we got a personal foul, blow to the helmet. We're saying that, but from the direction he's pointing, it would seem to indicate it was against the Olympians or the return team going this way.
Referee's trying to sort this out. Looks like that ball's going back into Lobo territory.
And it is, and I apologize, fans. I was the one that turned around. It's going to be the Lobos' ball.
Referee's going to get some exercise and jog that one off.
As you see, this is the replay here of Kyrie Rice on that return.
So again, 2 fouls against the Lobos on a play that ended up in Leuzinger territory inside the 40. Instead comes all the way back to their own 30-yard line. Wow. Mustafa Muhammad had all the time in the world to throw that ball and had a receiver out there in Dimitri Hunter. And quite frankly, you got to charge that one to the quarterback.
Definitely.
He just missed him on that play completely.
It's some miscommunication there. He thought Dimitri Hunter was going to keep running with those 2 receivers in front of him. You have to realize what your receiver is doing.
And I'm not sure how much miscommunication there was, because Dimitri Hunter turned around, faced his quarterback. He was wide open, and his quarterback simply didn't get it to him.
Pass complete. Maybe about a 3-yard gain.
That's James Morgan.
3rd down for the Lobos.
And, you know, that's one of those rules that one day they may change in high school football in terms of when you're down. I know they want to say you're down when a knee touches, but like the NFL rule, you're only down by contact.
Right.
Okay? Now that was a nice pass in the flat. Wow, he's got his receiver. Boy, taking a couple of licks is Kyrie Rice, but he picks up a first down for his efforts as they cross into Leuzinger territory at the 49-yard line.
And that's a good throw. Good cut in by Kyrie Rice, able to break 2 tackles right there. And then he gets tackled on that last play.
Wow. And Mustafa Muhammad does good to get back to the line of scrimmage, and now he's shaken up on the play. I'm not sure I saw a lot of contact that put him on the field as much as there was a loss of footing on the play. We can see a replay of that, Sebastian. I don't think it was contact at all that caused him to go down.
Yeah, not that much contact there, but you never know because we are not out there, so it might have been something we didn't see, but he gets up pretty quick off the floor.
Yeah, well, that was actually the play before, if I'm not mistaken, because it was the quarterback, number 10, Mustafa Muhammad, who was down on the play. We've got 5:14 left.
Nice to see the injured player get off on his own.
This is that play right here, folks. You see he just went down.
Right.
Return to action is 2nd and 10 for the Lobos.
Now let's see if he comes back or.
Leuzinger holding on to a 28-7
Okay,
lead.
so actually right now to take the snap from center is going to be number 14, Brandon Connor. Wow. Well, there was movement.
Before the snap,
Let's see.
and all of the referees throw their flags on the field.
And they'll converge on it to see, because there were different views. I mean, the side judge over here saw one thing. Ultimately, they agree that it was against the Olympians.
Was offside. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 5.
And the Lobos move up 5 yards because of that penalty on the Olympians.
So now from the 44, drive started at the 49. Again, change of quarterback, keeping the ball, picking up a first down. That's Brandon Connor.
Lobo run.
And Brandon Cannon has some really good speed. He showed agility tonight, definitely after catching some of those balls. And Mustafa is coming back in the game. As you see here on this replay, he gets free and is tackled by Andrew Harvey.
Okay, so if you're scouting this team, you now know that their backup quarterback is Brandon Connor. All right, here's Muhammad looking. He's still running. He's got to make a decision with the ball soon. Took too long to do it. And Adrian Galera said, come here, young man. Let me introduce you to the carpet here at Olympian Field.
And definitely Adrian Galera back in the game, fierce. You see Mustafa here getting away from a couple people. Stiff arms a big guy right there. You know, and then he gets picked up by Galera and he says, have a seat right here on this grass.
And I'm sure the fans at home watching the broadcast would love to see their cheer squad, the one in the stands as well as the one out here on the track, once in a while. Especially as we wind down 4:24 left in the game, a game that clearly is in the grasp, if you will, of the Leuzinger Olympians. Still keeping it, and boy, he goes down in the most awkward of ways. And Mustafa Muhammad again.
You see here, tries to break free. Right there, another mud spot for him.
Okay, I think now I understand what's happening. That's what's frustrating them as well, are the field conditions. Because they've had a couple of plays of theirs get wasted. That ball tipped up in the air, falls incomplete on the 2nd and 10. So that's going to make it a 3rd and 10 now for the Lobos.
Mustafa definitely lucky to not have that ball intercepted for his 4th tonight.
All right, this time Isaiah Black with the carry. And the head linesman over on the far side says move the chains, and so they will.
There you go again, Isaiah Black. He's been running hard all night.
Timeout on the field. Timeout Olympians.
So the Olympians burn a timeout.
Taken by Leuzinger. They have 1 remaining in the ball game. We have 3 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in this ball game.
So with the Olympian timeout at the 3:36 mark, our score 28-7 in favor of the Olympians. Sebastian, where do you see them? Okay, as the Olympians start to scratch this W in the win column for them, we know that the Mayor's Cup is next. What do you think their state of mind and what this W does for their preparation next week?
Well, first, you got to feel comfortable going into that game next week. They played a really good game today on offense and defense. It's definitely it has been definitely a collaborative effort of both defensive and offensive teams here at Leuzinger, but they have to be ready for that Hawthorne Cougar team. They have a lot of elusive guys out there that are playing wide receiver, slot running back. Harris McDaniel, a great running back over there, having himself a great year. So Leuzinger has to be ready for that, and I think they will be.
All right, so it is a first down and 10, ball at the 15. And once again, Isaiah Black with the carry. Can't find. Now we got a flag and a little bit extra on there. I think that's going to go. Well, we'll wait and see. But I'm not optimistic that it's going to be against Rancho, to be honest with you. What I thought I saw was perhaps it being against an Olympian personal foul, but no. They say it was indeed Rancho. So let's see.
He's tackled again by Andrew Harvey on that replay.
A little bit of frustration.
You see, definitely, like you said, Rufus, the frustration is starting to set in for Rancho Dominguez. They haven't been able to get anything tonight offensively except for that one touchdown at the beginning of the third. Mustafa has thrown 3 interceptions. They're falling in the mud. It's a lot going on for them tonight. As you see, there you go on that replay. You see these guys getting tangled up as the Leuzinger band plays on.
They've gotten their crowd pumped up, boy. Keeping the ball on the ground is Rancho Dominguez, and that's Brandon Cannon. Play's going to be whistled there. The officials shortening up that whistle and making sure this game remains under control as we wind down.
3rd and long for the Lobos. Timeout on the field taken by Rancho Dominguez.
Okay. Ball is spotted at about the 25. They've got to get down inside the 5 to pick up a first down. So it's going to be a 3rd down and about 20.
As we get a look at the Olympian cheerleaders doing their thing tonight as well.
Let's hear it one more time for the Olympian marching band. Let's hear it one time for the drill team. Let's hear it one more time for the Leuzinger Pep Squad.
All right. So we got the marching band, the cheerleaders, the Pep Squad.
And one time for everybody in the crowd staying through this exciting ball game.
Good crowd turnout tonight for the Olympians. What they've gotten behind their team.
This game too.
So, here we are. Mustafa Muhammad, boy, lays it up in the air. And, oh! His receiver right at the back of the end zone.
And Jerry Phillips.
And that's what we're talking about, man. That is a drop 7 days a week.
And Jerry Phillips has the chance to catch that. You see Mustafa gets away. and puts a beautiful twist on that ball. Jerry Phillips just not able to catch it.
Man, great camera work by the crew at City TV. Right on top of that, bringing it right to you in your living room, Sebastian. Man, that was a great shot.
It was a great shot, and they got to see Jerry Phillips drop that ball. That definitely should have been a caught ball right there.
That was 6 points, brother. It won't come any easier than that.
It definitely won't.
So
Sails out of bounds, incomplete. Leuzinger takes over on down. First and 10 Olympian.
So on that 4th down play, boy, and that's the one that'll just about that one again sailed on it. He went the other way this time, going for Kyrie Rice.
Yeah, he overthrows him on that one. But back again to that last play to Jerry Phillips. That might have been the easiest play he probably is going to have all year.
And you got an Olympian down on the far side. We didn't see that. Hopefully one of our reporters will also get over there to see what we got, man.
So makes his way all the way out to the
from here, it looks like that could possibly be Markel Allen.
Of course, we don't like to speculate, and so until we know for sure whom it is, which we will, I'm sure, in a moment, and hopefully again, one of our folks will get over there and get us a report on what's going on with the injured Leuzinger Olympian. But we see Coach Porter coming back. So, and McCall Hall is over on that side of the field looking in on it, and I'm sure she'll have a report for us soon. So while we've got a break in action, official timeout for the injured Leuzinger Olympian, 2:51 left in the contest. 28-7 is our score. Especially there's so much action going on in the area. We saw Lawndale come in here last week, show what they've got. A couple of weeks ago we saw coach's team. So now getting up,
and that is Markel Allen.
For right now, they're keeping him on that side of the field. I mean, and he laid back down, so we thought maybe, okay, let's go to replay and see if we can see what happened over on that side. Well,
all right, we're back in the action here. First and 10 Olympians.
Looked like he got his leg tangled up a little bit.
Okay, so they come back to live action. Here's the snap. Handoff, boy, they had even us fooled, but the Olympians keep it on the ground because right now they want to burn clock and they'll just keep it in bounds. Run as much time off the clock as they can.
And that's Andrew Harvey there. We've been seeing a lot on the defensive end. He also plays running back. With a nice run right there.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the contest. 4th quarter action from Olympian Field. Leuzinger Olympians up by a margin of 28-7 over the Rancho Dominguez Lobos. Adrian Galera with the carry. Galera goes around the right side. Stays close to the inside. Doesn't pick up much on, of course, the objective is more so just to run the clock, although what you would like to do at this point is go ahead and pick up that final first down, which virtually guarantees you keeping the ball for the rest of the game.
3rd and 11 for the Olympians.
And that 3rd and 11 here, let's see if the Olympians can convert. With 1:30 left in the game as the clock winding down, you got to be able to get this first down.
Yeah. Well, it looks like there was a fumble on the play. They're saying that Rancho Dominguez has come up with it. Wow.
And that's recovered by Brandon Johnson, linebacker.
And man, in that scrum, We didn't see that action, but we see there's only a minute 18 left. Let's watch the replay, see if we can pick. Yeah, that fumble was on the snap.
Yep.
That's the same problem they've had all night, Sebastian.
And that's a problem that needs to be corrected over this week in practice, because you cannot have those kind of mistakes happen while playing against the Cougars of Hawthorne.
Timeout taken by the Olympians, third and final timeout.
Okay, so while we got a timeout on the field, let's go down to Tamaralata.
Leuzinger's quarterback Edson Santos is done for the night with double cramps. Back to you guys.
All right, so brief, to the point, gives us the information we need.
Yep.
Edson Santos done for the night with cramps.
Well, Santos has had a pretty good game. Hopefully he can recover from those cramps. I'm sure he will, and bounce back next week for that Mayor's Cup.
Wow, I'm a little surprised. I mean, we've had a bit of cramping tonight. I mean, the weather actually is in your favor. It's just a matter of staying hydrated. So let's see. Okay, that pass incomplete. Looks like it was initially intended for Brandon Connor, or Brandon Cannon, I should say, Brandon Cannon.
And you see Mustafa here, steps up. That ball almost intercepted as well.
Minute 12 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Now Isaiah Black with the carry. He gets a few yards, but not much. There's a minute 5 left. And of course, by my count, Rancho Dominguez has a couple of 3 timeouts left. We'll see how kind Coach Crawford is when he extends this game just because he's got the 3 timeouts to burn.
I don't think he will. He got 1 minute left. I don't think that's going to happen. His team's playing right now, still in play. Kyrie Rice, nice catch, gets in.
Wow, good run, finally brought down. Looks like it's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down. And they're indicating to run the clock, no timeout. Indication now, it looks like there's a desired timeout by. Timeout being taken by the Lobos.
Timeout of the second half, 1 remaining.
So, with Sebastian, you got it. We got 27 seconds left.
I just wanted to ask you, Rufus, with 27 seconds left in this game, what is your overall view of what you saw from the Olympians tonight?
Well, you know, I think you saw a great team effort, and you saw a lot of good things happen for them. Started right off the bat with the 95-yard kickoff return by Nathaniel Vaughn, the 3 interceptions. Now, having said that, and here's what happens. You have to put that in the context that this was a very game Rancho Dominguez team, but also an overmatched team. Not by much, but nonetheless a team that Leuzinger did what they were expected to do. I think next week will be a great test for them as Rancho picks up a first down. That'll stop the clock as the chains move. Now it's 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line. So they're looking for, they've got the opportunity for a little window dressing here, Sebastian.
You see that replay.
Mustafa drops back to pass, looking for a receiver. Clock runs, and he'll throw it completely out of the end zone. But that'll stop the clock with 4 seconds left, and that'll give them 1 more shot at it.
But totally, Rufus, I agree with you about the Olympians being ready for next week. And to be quite frank with you, it's going to be the first time we have seen those 2 teams evenly matched. Hawthorne being down for so many years as this Leuzinger Olympian program has thrived over the years. You got 2 new coaches running the programs well. It's going to be interesting to see how that game goes next week.
Well, we know, and we also have 2 good coaches who are actually familiar with each other. Coach Paisinger, let's see if he makes the turn back. And touchdown is the indication. So they'll have the extra point attempt coming up with no time on the clock.
Touchdown for Rancho Dominguez. The clock hits 0.
Rancho Dominguez, as I said, they were looking for a little window dressing. Okay. Well, the officials are leaving.
Touchdown pass with the clock hitting 0.
So the officials explain, no, you don't get an extra point attempt. The officials leave, and so a final. The Leuzinger Olympians win 28-13.
Leuzinger evens his record of 2 wins and 2 losses.
Wow. Clock expired. Well, and here's the point. The extra point would be inconsequential, okay? Now, we don't know about scoring tiebreakers and whether or not that would have come into play in terms of points scored over the season. I don't think so, because this is a veteran crew. I mean, trust me, you heard me mention there are a number of officials who know. So they understood that, hey, the clock had gone off, it expired, game's over, and Leuzinger has won. So, with that, we can officially declare that Leuzinger tonight has defeated the visiting Lobos of Rancho Dominguez out of North Long Beach, California by a score of 28-13. I tell you what, well, I know our reporters are trying to get different people. Looks like I see McCall Hall has already grabbed the Rancho Dominguez coach. He looks to be getting away. Let's see if he's going to stop, but there's also Coach Porter over there. So let's take a moment, see what we get as they're ready. So we're going to take a quick break here as we say good night to the basketball crew. We'll be seeing them in a couple of months. All right, so I tell you what, let's take a quick break here at CityTV as we remind you once again, Leuzinger 28, Rancho Dominguez 13. We'll be okay. Well, I'm told now that Tammy Latta has coached, so let's go down to Tamara Latta.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Porter. Coach, before the game, you said your guys needed to do the little things. How pleased are you with your team's effort tonight?
Very pleased with the effort. I still think we can do the little things a little bit better. Played a tough team tonight, and I was proud of the way that we bounced back from last week's victory. We still got a ways to go with the little things, though.
How do you build off a win like this going forward?
Again, focusing on the little things and trying not to ride the emotional waves, getting too low or getting too high. We're going to come back Monday and watch the film and try to correct the mistakes and try to get ready for Hawthorne next week.
All right, Coach, thanks. Congratulations on the win. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Tamara. And again, Coach Porter staying with his signature message. It's about the little things. And again, and when he says that, not to be taken lightly because we saw so many penalties. Those are the little things that he was talking about, Sebastian, and they're getting there. So let's go back down to the field, and McCall Hall has the Leuzinger quarterback, Edson Santos.
All right, we're here with senior quarterback Edson Santos of Leuzinger High School, winning quarterback tonight. Now, Edson, last week versus Lawndale, it seemed like you were struggling a little bit in the pocket. You weren't displaying a whole lot of patience, but tonight we noticed a big difference. You threw for a few touchdowns, some nice runs, and a few nice passes. What was the difference?
Well, it was a team effort. You know, we after the Lawndale game, we all decided on each other, like to look in the mirror and to pretty much evaluate each other, like ourselves, I mean. And we all did that. We all came out, and the line blocked better, way better than before. And it was a team effort, and that's all I have to say, really.
So you being the senior quarterback, this is your team. I mean, how do you guys celebrate going forward?
Well, we expected to win this, so we're not going to celebrate much. We're just going to probably clap it up in the locker room. That's it. On to next week, we got Hawthorne, rivalry, trying to get the Mayor's Cup back.
So the Mayor's Cup is coming back to Leuzinger?
Well, we're gonna prepare, and I think if we prepare, they're not gonna win.
Well, with Edson Santos on your sideline and as your quarterback, I think they're going to do pretty well. Back to you guys. Leuzinger gets the win.
All right. Well, thanks, McCall Hall. So you've had Coach Damian Porter and Edson Santos. I tell you what, let Sebastian and I take a minute, collect our thoughts. We've got some awards to give out tonight, and there are a lot of guys who are deserving. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a quick breather, and we'll be back on CityTV Sports.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
All right, we're back, fans, here at Olympian Field, home of the Leuzinger Olympians. As one more time, we give kudos to the Olympians for their 28-13 win. A little bit of window dressing at the end for Rancho Dominguez, but a game, Sebastian, that the Olympians control from the outset.
Definitely, and this is a perfect game to build off for the Olympians. They played well, did have a lot of penalties in that first half, though. That is something that they will definitely have to correct going into playing Hawthorne next week.
And that should be a great game, but before we wrap this one up, let's give out some awards tonight because we know the guys who are watching. They're waiting to hear, man. So, tell you what, I'll let you do the honors with the player of the game.
Okay. Well, our player of the game is for Leuzinger, Nathaniel Vaughn. He actually had a great game tonight, and I think he's a very fitting person for the award, starting the game off with a bang with a 90-yard kickoff return.
He started it and he ended it.
Yeah,
ended it, and also got an INT.
Yes.
During the first quarter as well. So, Nathaniel, congratulations on being the player of the game, a well-deserved award. Another young man who stepped up, who earned himself a Tip of the Hat award. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the finer pieces in the collection. This is a Dobbs flooring team. I bought this in Detroit, one of the major hat cities in America.
That's just in case you guys didn't know at home.
In case you guys didn't know, it doesn't wear well with this, but I do want you to know that the Tip of the Hat award tonight goes to number 4, running back for the Olympians. 2 touchdowns on the ground and a great ground effort tonight. Got nicked up a little bit, stretched it out on the sideline, got back in the mix. None other than Adrian Galera. So, Adrian, hey, congratulations. This Tip of the Hat award is to you tonight. So, we say congratulations to both of those young men. Nathaniel Vaughn, player of the game. Adrian Galera, who is the Tip of the Hat award winner. And for the rest of the crew here working sideline tonight, maybe a first ever, 2 ladies on the sideline, Tammy Lotta and McCall Hall, did an outstanding job. And, of course, my buddy here, Sebastian, stepping in for Loose Towers. I'm Rufus Washington for the rest of the CityTV crew, headed by none other than Tom Strickfad. And we say, hey, thanks for joining us. And don't forget, next week, the Mayor's Cup, the 2014 edition, and the Leuzinger Olympians are looking, Sebastian, to break that losing streak.
Definitely. I think Leuzinger is going to come to that game ready to play. They are the ones who have been the more dominant of the program as far as taking the Mayor's Cup. Hawthorne, they got it. They feel real good about themselves right now, but we'll see what's going to happen.
All right. Well, with that, fans, we're going to say good night, and guess what? We'll see you again next week on CityTV Sports.